What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Dose Podcast, episode 42. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This podcast is sponsored by Jackpack LLC, 1GM Construction, and Complete Solutions LLC. Tap in with me for all your roofing, construction, remodeling needs, anything like that, indoor, outdoor, in Albuquerque and the surrounding areas. We'll get you all taken care of. Gonna be a great episode today, guys. We're gonna go over this past weekend's UFC cards, and then unfortunately, there won't be another UFC card for 6 weeks. But in the meantime, there's some boxing events. There's gonna be current topics. I'm bringing weekly episodes no matter what. We're gonna keep it coming, guys. So the UFC fight night from this weekend, it was a pretty good card. There's definitely been worse ones. There was a lot of finishes on there. Overall, on the main card, we had Bobby King Green. I know he took this fight on short notice. He looked good. He did his thing, It was a split decision. He felt like it could have been unanimous. Either way, he got it done. Marcus Buchecha and Kennedy, I can't even say his last name, but they had a great back and forth. Ended up being a draw. You had a KO for Musalik Costa. That one was a big head kick. Put Buddy out flat. So hopefully Morgan's okay. Cesar Almeida and Cezanne Olizachek, they had a good and unanimous decision, just a good fight overall. Kevin Vallejos had a beautiful KO, spinning back fist over Giga Chikante. I definitely did not see that. I thought Giga was going to get it and look good, but he got him out there. And in the main event, a highly anticipated flyweight fight. Brandon Royval comes out and gets stopped pretty quick, guys. 1 minute and 42 seconds into the first round. Now, he popped back up. He thought it was an early stoppage. He was pretty upset. The thing was, it was a flash knockout, but he did get dropped. He fell. His eyes, he was out of there. It wasn't necessarily a good or bad stoppage, right? It's up to the ref. He felt like in that moment he was out of there. He can't defend himself. So I wouldn't say early stoppage. Pretty good card. That is the end of an era on ESPN Plus. No more paying for pay-per-views. They had a great chapter, of course, but starting next year, they will be on Paramount Plus. That's it on the fight card from this weekend, guys. We have a lot of current topics. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, Bobby Shmurda over the weekend had a show in Minnesota. I saw the video of him getting jumped. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what he did. Where was the security at? He posted a video showing he was okay, but he definitely was a little lumped up. So I don't know what happened there. Hopefully he's all good. Another video, Chrisean Rock, one of Blueface's baby mamas, she was live streaming in Compton, and this chick smacked the mess out of her. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I'm not saying she deserves it, but that's kind of the downside of being a controversial person out there, always acting crazy, and then being on live stream. You make yourself more open to the public. Not saying she deserved it, but the video is pretty crazy. Dame Dash. This guy, I don't know. He's somebody who has CTE, but he's never been in a fight. He's always all over the board. One thing he would never admit to is being broke and stuff like that, right? He's always his own boss, getting money. Now he claims he is broke, and the good part of it is that nobody can sue him. So he can just bounce back, and even if you sue him, he's got nothing to give you. So I don't know what's going on with that guy. Now, there's a viral video going around. Police arrest a DoorDasher. She puts the order down, and then she sprays pepper spray. Apparently, the couple that got it, the wife, started choking. She was, struggling to breathe. That is absolutely nuts, guys. Don't be mad, because that is your only way of making money in life, right? Be thankful that you still do make money, and if you hate it and you don't like it, put yourself in a better position. Yes, I agree people should tip, stuff like that. I'm sure it was over something like that, but you do not have the right to go mace someone's food like that, guys. So just thought that was a bit crazy. Now, Ray J, guys, our favorite celebrity. This guy posted a video saying he got kicked off the bus with Tom Brady, and now he's stranded in Tampa. He doesn't know what to do, hoping somebody sends him some money. I'm hoping somebody sends him some common sense, and that boy gets his life in order. It's absolutely nuts. Now, I saw a video of how people get disciplined in Nigeria for stealing. Now, you guys want to talk about police brutality. This dude slapped the shit out of Buddy, for stealing something from the market. I'm talking knocked him damn near out from both sides. Absolutely crazy. I was like, I definitely wouldn't be stealing if I lived over there. Guys, I'm about to make my own segment. What in the Florida? This guy gets a haircut from his barber. Hairline's a little further back than he usually gets it than he would like. He flips out, pulls out a gun on him, acts crazy, bro. Ends up getting arrested. Like, buddy, what are you thinking? Not only do you have a bad lineup, now you're in jail, buddy. Your hair will grow back. Definitely a Florida thing right there. Now, T.I., he was doing his thing. He's performing a concert. You know, Father Time gets us all. He's got a ton of balding going on in the back of his head. Braids are covering the rest of it. Now, his DJ looks out. He notices. He tells him to throw a hat on so he can cover it up. Of course, he's getting roasted online. Now, guys, like I said, Father Time is undefeated. In my opinion, it's better to just let it go. Or with the money he has, he probably should just go get a hair transplant. But as always, the internet's going to cook you. Shout outs for his DJ. What a homie right there. Notices and has him cover it up. Now, last week, Pac-Man Jones was on Johnny Manziel's podcast, and he claims, I think it was last New Year's Eve, something like that. He was at an event. He claimed once everybody got a little tipsy that OT Genesis tried to hit on his fiance, and he knocked him clean out. Now, since then, OT has came out and said, A, I don't do that. B, you ain't never knocked anybody out. I don't know. Pretty crazy story. Who knows who's telling the truth, right? I mean, once it's out there like that, it's not like he's going to be like, yeah, homie knocked me out. So, I don't know. Pac-Man has always been a pretty wild dude. Now, Miami Vice actor Eva Lure, she was stalked. She had a stalker for 13 years. They finally found out who it was. Guys, this is an example of you never know. Now, I'm not saying be cautious, be careful. A lot of times people talk reckless and they are just full of shit. This dude was always, stalking her, talking all this crazy stuff. He ended up looking like the dude with one arm from Scary Movie, the messed up hand. Crazy looking white dude in a damn wheelchair. He couldn't even wheel to you if he wanted to. Like, the way he was talking and whatnot, it's like, buddy, I would roll your ass out of here. So, it's just crazy how sometimes people act all... That's what I mean. I hear a lot of girls, always like, I don't know, he's crazy. It's like, nah, he's really not. A lot of people just be bluffing, so that shit was crazy. Now, I don't even know I don't even know, but this Bronx inmate smuggles a revolver in his ass, pulls it out, and shoots another inmate inside of the police van. Buddy, what is going on? I don't even want to get in the details. That's just absolutely nuts. Buddy had that literal prison pocket. That is just crazy. Now, an Atlanta man is behind bars and accused of installing hundreds of veneers in patients' mouth, hundreds of different patients operating without a license. Guys, that's why you got the veneers for $1,500. Boy ain't never done it in his life. Didn't go to school. Absolutely crazy, guys. Just pay the money. Some of y'all be looking for so much damn bargains. You find the guy that doesn't even know how to do it. Now, there's a crazy video going around. Look this up, guys. This Australian skydiver, there's like a group of them. They're jumping out of the plane. Well, something happened with the guy's backup parachute, and all of a sudden he goes flying out of the plane. It wraps under the wing. Absolutely crazy. One thing that was dope about the guy is he kept his composure. He didn't trip. He pulled a knife out, cut it off, flew down, pulled out his other parachute. That was gangster. I was like, holy shit. He's just second in line waiting, and he got thrown out there. It was absolutely nuts. You should definitely check it out. Now, in good old Waffle House fashion, a man was seen on a viral video demanding a refund because his hash browns were burnt. Started acting rowdy. He ended up getting beat by the Waffle House staff. One of the ladies came out WWE style, hit Buddy with a chair. I mean, you got to go watch the video. It was absolutely nuts. Now, guys, this video I'm about to talk about, you can look it up as an example of you got to know what's going on, right? This big streamer, I think it was in Russia. He invites a Russian MMA fighter on his stream. He's making fun of him for begging, for a shot in the UFC from Dana White. Just talking reckless. Next thing you know, again, I'm not saying it's right, but Buddy starts whooping his ass, holding him down, ground and pound, smacking him, just holding him against his will and whooping him. Now, again, I'm not saying it's right, but that's where a lot of these people are used to online saying whatever they want. If you bring someone on your stream and you start belittling them, you can't be shocked when they whoop your ass, guys. So it's a pretty crazy video. He was definitely getting it. Now, also another life lesson, guys. This influencer, Wes Watson. I don't like to talk about other men like this, but it's just interesting. In life, don't ever say you never will act this way. You'll never be in this position. You never do any of that. Now, he went to prison for 10 years. He's famous for being a celebrity trainer, whatever you call it. He's, modeled Andrew Tate in the way of he has a low ticket item that he has tons of reoccurring, monthly business on. And he's someone who says he would never miss with a workout. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't do this. And recently it seems like he's facing another case, possibly going back to prison. Definitely doesn't post daily workouts. Looks like he's on drugs. Guys, you can't say life will never do this, do that, because life will put you in a position where you'll end up doing it. So it's just, sad to see, right? All the vices and things he said he would never do, he's now doing. So hopefully he can turn it around, because from what I know, he is a bit crazy and does, go off the deep end. But he has actually influenced a lot of people positively. So hopefully he gets on track. Now, this pro basketball player, he was a former pro basketball player, and he pleaded guilty to possession of some gummies, right? He had some THC gummies at his apartment out there in Bali, and he was facing the death penalty. He ended up, like I said, settling with 26 months. Absolutely crazy. I don't think he was a big player, but what was his name? American basketball player Jared Shaw. So I'm not sure how big or what level, but he was an American professional player living out in Bali. His house, for whatever reason, got checked, and he had some gummies. He was facing the death penalty and settles on 26 months. Guys, when you're in some of these countries that do not play, you have to know what you're doing. And, like that thing with Brittany Griner. I don't agree she should have spent all that time for that small of amount, but Russia doesn't fuck around, and you got to know where you're going when you're in those situations. Now, 50 Cent comes out and alleges that Netflix limited him to 4 videos, and there was an episode that went over in detail Diddy allegedly getting one of Tupac's fiancées pregnant. But yeah, like he said, Netflix cut it out, didn't let him put it in there. That whole doc is just absolutely crazy. No matter what, when Diddy does get out, he's a weird little freaky guy and definitely a piece of shit. So it's, no matter what, I'll be curious to see kind of how his opportunities and image is upheld after all this. Now, former UFC fighter Alex Garcia competed at welterweight and middleweight, was arrested in Canada with like 180 kilos. Like, holy smokes. Guess he didn't he didn't do the right things with his money. He's out there doing a big drug thing, and now he's busted. I wonder if he has any, connections to the wedding guy who's the former snowboarder who, is currently wanted, because a lot of his drugs have been pushed through Mexico, America, into Canada. That'd be crazy. I'm not saying they are or aren't. Now, the escaped Louisiana inmate Derek Groves sentenced to 2 life terms plus 100 years. So I don't know what that boy's case is, but definitely that's an example of, like, people will post free him. I don't think he needs to be free. If he's facing that much time, he did some serious stuff. I agree there's situations when you do it. Guys, if your homie's a triple murderer, probably don't free him. He probably deserves to be in jail. You just got to be honest with yourself. Now, drill rapper TBO Zay, I guess a Bronx drill rapper, was arrested in connection to the shooting of Jets player Chris Boyd. Man, just sounds like a case of hating, you know what I mean? And guys, if you're getting money from lying, cheating, stealing, robbing people, whatever it is, it's going to catch up to you eventually. Just get money the right way, the legal way, get a job, find something you can pursue. There's so much ways to make money. It's a shame to waste your life like that. Now, Vanderbilt quarterback detained by ICE allegedly due to his parents coming to this country illegally. Now, guys, in my opinion, again, this is one of those instances where we did the wrong thing. If that is the case, and his parents are here illegally, but they raised a great son, an athlete, they're doing good, they're not causing any problems, yeah, they should have to, take a test or something to get their citizenship, but it shouldn't be an issue. They should be able to just get it and continue life as they have been. So I just wanted to mention that, kind of give my opinion on it. Now, the search for the legendary drug kingpin Frank Matthews officially comes to an end after 52 years. They don't know what happened. They don't know if this guy's dead. They don't know where he lives. They were like, you know what? We're just going to give up. We don't know how we're going to find him. So we're not wasting any more resources. And, I just found it pretty interesting. So, another thing I wanted to go over. So Teofimo Lopez, it's interesting as he's going on his tour right now, doing all these interviews for his upcoming fight. He had a good, not a good point, but an interesting point. He was saying technically, Bud Crawford can't be the undisputed because he hasn't paid all his sanctioning fees. So, at first I was like, wow, that's kind of a hater of him. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I mean, technically, if he doesn't pay the sanctioning fees and they don't actually send him the belt, is he the undisputed? I don't know, right? So I guess what he was saying is that the WBC is the only sanctioning body that charges way, way more than the other ones. So I get that, but if you agreed to it, even knowing they're going to, you can't agree to it and then after the fact try and change the terms. I get what he's saying, but if you agree to it, you got to pay it. So I'll be curious to see, does he pay? Does he let him strip him? Because, Teofimo gave him his respect, but he's saying technically he wouldn't be undisputed if he doesn't get all the belts. So I guess we'll see how that all plays out. We got some fight announcements. Renato Moicano versus Brian Ortega. And these are all on the same cards. I'm just giving some announcements. You got Kevin Holland versus Geoff Neal. You got Brandon Moreno versus Alamabayev. Israel Adesanya versus Caio Barao. That'll be a great middleweight fight. And then you got the grandpas Mike Tyson and Floyd Money Mayweather boxing little exhibition, whatever you want to call it, in March. I mean, if it's free, I'll watch it. Other than that, not really too much into it. So we got the Misfits card coming up this Friday. So, of course, the main event is Andrew Tate versus Chase Demore. I'm taking Andrew Tate in this fight by unanimous decision. I'm not saying bet on it. I'm not saying it even goes that way, but that's just my pick on it. In the co-main, you got Carla Jade and Taylor Starling. I'm going to go with Taylor Starling. Now you got Dean the Great versus Armando Vargas, one of the Vargas sons. I'm definitely taking the Vargas son in that one. El Kakui versus Warren Spencer. We're going with El Kakui. And then there's some other fights on there, but nothing really going to blow your hair back. Decent little card. But I'm really just curious to see kind of how Tate looks. It's been a long time since he competed. He knows, very, very well. Like, there's way more to lose for him in the sense if he wins, it doesn't change his life a whole lot. If he loses and he gets flatlined, he's going to be a meme everywhere. Everybody's been cooking him, making fun of him. So I think he knows, the problems and kind of what's on the line. Now, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. I really can't believe it. You got to give, of course, if it actually happens, once they actually step in there, you can't do anything but give Jake Paul his props. From where he started to where he is now, facing Anthony Joshua. I'm going to tell you guys this. If he does not get knocked out, it's scripted, right? If he doesn't get knocked out or absolutely just blown away, like just hanging on every round, it's scripted. That's how this fight should go. Anthony Joshua should come out, walk him down. It shouldn't be any problem. He should put Jake Paul down pretty easily. So I'm curious to see if Jake Paul knocks him out. You can guarantee this stuff is just behind the scenes. They're getting paid. You got Alicia Baumgartner in the co-main. You got Anderson Silva and Tyron Woodley. I would say Anderson Silva probably gets a unanimous decision. I mean, other than that, not really any big fights that you're going to recognize. So, I mean, it's something, like I said, we don't have any UFC cards for a couple weeks, but I know that there is some boxing in between, so we'll keep an eye on that. Something very interesting, these PFL cards, I don't know what, they're not advertising much. They have them in these random countries during the day. Like, I can't imagine their viewership is that high. I've heard that behind the scenes, as Dana has been saying, that Francis is a pain in the ass to deal with. The PFL is regretting him. They definitely gave him way more money compared to what they've gotten in return, and it's not even close. Now, something I saw last week after the title fight, both Aljamain Sterling and Coach John Wood, now again, respect to them, but they said after the third round they felt Merab was up 3-0. Now, I don't know what fight you're watching. I get that's your boy. You got to be way more realistic, and even if you feel your fighter's up, maybe 2-1, whatever, and that tough of a dog fight, how they were just going at it, don't tell him that. Don't give him any opportunity to slow up. Let him know, hey, this is a tough fight. Keep it in there. Keep the pace up. But when a fighter, in my opinion, he was probably down 2-1 at least. I don't know what fight they were watching, but yeah. And, Aljo was saying, well, yeah, we didn't get that much time to warm up because the freak accident with Pantoja. Neither did Peter Yan. You guys both had the exact same time to train for the fight. You had the exact same time to get ready, to be there, all of that stuff, So just kind of, like I said, obviously Aljo's a legend, a GOAT, and everything like that. Coach John Wood, so they know better than me. I just giving my opinion on it. Now, shame, Michigan coach Sharon Moore. This is absolutely nuts. So this guy was getting with one of the staff members while he had a wife and kids at home. He was cheating behind the scenes. And then she wanted to bring it public. She comes down. She lets it be known. It was like last Wednesday. He gets fired. By Wednesday night, he flies over to her house. He breaks in. He's upset. He's telling her she ruined his life. He gets a butter knife and puts it to his neck, threatening to kill himself. Just, guys, I don't know what is wrong with y'all, but dudes are just retarded. You know what I mean? There's no way it was worth it, dog. There's no woman it was worth doing that, losing your career, losing your family, and then trying to kill yourself with a butter knife. Like, now you ain't going to get with either one of them because you're just a clown. You've lost your job. I mean, man, talk about really a life-changing situation. That is absolutely nuts. Now, that was pretty much it, guys, for all the current topics. We went over the fights from this past weekend, gave our prediction on the Misfits and the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. There's not a whole lot going on other than that. Of course, before we get out of here, guys, we're going to get out of here on the message of the week. Earn your title, guys. And what I mean by that is a lot of these titles, a lot of these words get thrown around a lot. Professional fighter, entrepreneur, basketball player, whatever it is. Some of you guys use that a little loosely and you have not earned it, right? So I only say that to say stuff like that is supposed to be held to a certain standard. You're an entrepreneur because you successfully achieved a certain amount of businesses. You're a pro fighter because you won a certain amount of fights. You're whatever it may be. So if you're a theory guy, a what if, all this and that, it doesn't count. So just keep that in mind, guys. Taking advice from people or following people that never really truly done anything. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Episode 42 of the Daily Dose podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I truly appreciate everybody. We'll see you next week.